second year running. They were that impressed that they invited me back. Now, as a citizen of the European Union, before we get going, I have to do a little something to make sure that I'm adhering to new GDPR regulations. So I have to ask you, the audience, a couple of questions, and I need you to answer them so that I'm legally allowed to continue. So first of all, if I could get a show of hands from everyone in the audience, if it's okay for me to come up to you and speak to you during the break. If you can just raise your hands. Okay, that's a reasonable amount. Okay, those of you in the audience who are okay to maybe have a coffee or a rugelach or a cookie with me during the break, if you'd like to raise your hands. Okay, slightly fewer, rather alarming. Okay, we're going downhill. And just finally, those of you in the audience who never ever want to see or hear from me ever again, if you just raise your hands. Okay, there's one person over there. Thank you very much. Maybe another one over there, but mercifully a low number. But the day is young, so we'll see if we can win those people over by the end of the day, because we've got another cracking lineup of speakers. We're going to be hearing from banks, from insurtechs. We're going to hear from the German state of Hessen as they seek to entice fintechs to Frankfurt. We're going to be talking banking, Brexit, and insurtech as well, and getting the lowdown on some of the most innovative fintechs around. Before we get going, though, just a couple of housekeeping measures. First of all, since we are in Israel, I need to remind you all to put your phones on silent, and ideally, if someone phones you in the middle of the conference, not to take the call. Okay, but do keep your phones on, because we really want you to take pictures, post comments, thoughts, questions to social media. So the handle on Twitter is @FinTech Junction. You can use the hashtag FinTech Junction, and you can also do your sharing on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere else that you see fit. Also, if you are a speaker, then do please keep to time. You have a clock here. It is here for a reason. When you see it go red, that means your time is up. And I think we're also going to hear a certain sound when your time is up as well. Can someone remind me what that sound is? Something like that. So if you hear that, that means stop talking. Okay. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to the stage the person responsible for putting together this event, even bigger and better than FinTech Junction 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for FinTech Junction CEO, Ben Peled.
Wow, wow. Elliot, thank you very much. You're number one. So thanks everyone for coming to FinTech Junction 2018. Now I'm going to improvise. I'm actually curious, by show of hands, who was here last year? Who was here last year? Okay, so I don't know, 5–10%. So I guess everyone else was so interested in coming, and you were the first to get your tickets. So you know, this is, I think, a proof that the fintech community in Israel is really strong and thriving. And we have over 1,500 attendees here today, 110 speakers. Do you like the pictures? All right, 110 speakers, 50 sessions, and 4 tracks, 4 stages. And the conference will end with a closing ceremony, with a band performance. So I really recommend everyone stay. And I have one message to you, really, is to, you know, get to know the people here. So you might be looking for an investor if you have a startup, or you might be looking for a startup if you're an investor, or if you're a corporate company, a bank. About 20% of the people here came from abroad. We have guests from Germany, from Belgium, from the United States, even from Asia, and we're all looking for startups and for great people to get to know in Israel. So I recommend that you meet, you know, 10 or 20 or 30 different people today, exchange your business cards, and you know, tell them what you're about, tell them what you do, what you're looking for, and you might find a match. Next thing is social media. So Elliot spoke about it. You know, the stronger we are in social media, the better it is for all of us. We're one community, right? We're all here for each other. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We opened a handle on Twitter today. I thought Twitter was only strong in the US, but it's actually pretty strong here as well. Let's move on to the next slide. I don't have a clicker with me, actually. So, all right, the next slide is Tel Aviv. So welcome to Tel Aviv, right? So you're going to see all around you this picture of Tel Aviv. Look at Tel Aviv today. It looks nothing like, you know, what it was 20 years ago or 10 years ago. You can probably recognize the buildings. I think we're growing fast, you know, in all the different sectors, whether it's technology, fintech, cyber, even in real estate. So let's welcome more and more people from overseas to come to Israel, and let's create all these relationships. last but not least, I want to thank my team at People and Computers for helping me organize this amazing conference. We're just getting started, right? It's just 10 a.m. I think there's going to be even more people as we move forward today. I want to thank our sponsors. Okay, let's give it up to our sponsors. They're actually one of the reasons I'm here. So main sponsors are Bank Leumi, the biggest bank in Israel, and Pepper, they're a mobile bank, first mobile bank. Cross River Bank from the United States, a very special bank. They're going to tell you all about what they're doing with Jill's keynote. And of course, we have a list of about 20-something sponsors. Here you're looking at the speakers. Okay, you're going to hear from them today in the 4 stages: the cryptocurrency, blockchain and crypto stage, startup and innovation stage, and downstairs we have the AI and cyber stage. Okay, there's fascinating panels. I suggest you look online at the website and you'll see the updated agenda. Okay, so that's it. Let's start. Now, the first session I'm going to be actually hosting. I'm going to be interviewing Michal Kissos Hertzog. She's the CEO of Pepper. Pepper is the first mobile-only bank in Israel. And Michal, hi, hello. Welcome. So, what's your better side?
This is my better side.
I'm sure they're both amazing.
Yeah, great.
All right. So this is a fireside chat. It's supposed to be more casual than the other keynotes.
I should have brought my t-shirt, right?
You're wearing a t-shirt. What do you mean?
No,
Oh, the Pepper
it's not
t-shirt.
a t-shirt. I got like really fancy today. I'm wearing heels and everything, you see?
So when we spoke, Michal and I are friends. We've known each other for a few years. Michal was the keynote speaker last year. And one of the things I like about Pepper is that it's really more like a startup and not a bank. Look at their website, look at their colors. They're all pink. What bank has a pink color? And the user interface and the way they market themselves and everything else. So let's start with a very basic question.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with what is Pepper?
Good question. So Pepper essentially is a mobile bank, but it's hard to explain. I admit it, it's hard to explain what is the difference between Pepper, which is a mobile bank, and other traditional banks app. But if you ask people that are using both, I think it's easy for them to say there is a dramatic difference. For example, Pepper has features that have a unique value proposition because they answer to a need or a pain that a user have, personalized. I'm sure you can tell about it because you're a customer.
Yeah.
And because of our operating model and its cost base, we can take the money that traditional banks spend on
branches that they don't have, right?
Operations, IT legacies. So we actually take this money and make it to work for features that count, like customer service, personalized features, and so on. But I think we have a movie.
Yeah, we have a video.
clip.
We have a video.
We have a video, right?
So let's play that video. Let's also try to start the timer so we know what how much time we have left.
When we think about banking, we all understand that it's time to move forward and discover a whole new world. A banking world that speaks your language, is beautifully designed, and provides a unique user experience unlike anything you've seen before. Meet Pepper, free mobile banking that will transform everything you thought you knew about banking. Pepper is 100% mobile, so no branches, no checking account fees, and a bunch of personal updates and insights to help you better manage your money. Need some help? Pepper has real live human banking support ready to assist you 24 hours a day, 6 days a week, by phone or online chat. It gives a whole new meaning to regular opening hours. And what's inside the Pepper world? A totally different banking experience. Pepper's technology is based on contextual artificial intelligence. Sounds impressive, but what does it mean? A newsfeed packed with content relevant to you. Imagine real-time updates on all your total card's expenses, your account movements after weekends and holidays, comparisons with the banking activities of people just like you, instant alerts about duplicate charges, articles, consumer tips, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Of course, all this is on top of full account management, a checking account, a credit card, cash withdrawals from any ATM, one-click loan applications, and smart savings. Convinced? Want to join Pepper and experience a completely new customer journey? Just pick up your mobile phone, and in less than 10 minutes, you can have your very own Pepper account. Fill in some details, take pics of a few documents with your phone, make a short video call, and that's it. You'll receive a credit line customized precisely to your needs, and a courier will deliver your checkbooks and international stunning credit card. Say hello to Pepper.
All right, I really liked it. Yes, you can clap. Don't be shy. Why not? So, by the way, we're going to have a minute or two for questions from the audience when we finish in 11 minutes. So think about something, something smart or something interesting to ask, and we'll give you the chance.
Or challenging.
Or challenging. All right, you're taking the challenge. Okay. So my next question is, we spoke about it before, but I've been to your offices. I met you a few times there, and it looks like a startup, like the office setting itself. So are you guys, is that on purpose?
Well, we are a startup.
Sure.
A startup built within a corporation, but we answer to the startup Bible, which is we build something people want, we test it, we implement it very quickly, we reach a product market fit, and now we have to grow like crazy. So when you set these rules, you know you are a startup, because it's crucial for startups.
The key word is quickly, right?
Yeah,
because if
definitely.
there's one thing that all banks are the same, they're not quick, they're slow, right?
Right.
I mean, except for the new banks, some of them are here, but the old traditional banks are slow. You guys are quick. I know that you are quick, because we work together very quickly. So so let's think of a few challenging questions maybe.
But it's quick because you have to be like that.
Yeah. Maybe you could give us an example. How,
for example,
what makes
this
you quick?
morning, you remember you told me that you were with your taxi driver.
Oh yeah,
Right?
Okay.
What did he ask you?
Sure. I even have it on my phone, I think.
Yeah, like Ben is like texting me, so I'm driving with my taxi driver.
So I speak with taxi drivers. I try to speak with, I just like to speak with taxi drivers or people I don't know, and I told him where I'm going, and he said, I told him about Pepper, and he kind of heard about it before. He wasn't sure, and he said, can I get a mortgage? Can I get a 700,000 shekel mortgage, which is roughly $200,000 dollars mortgage through this app? I think the answer is it's still no, not available, right? Will it be available in the future?
Not right now. That's when you ask me that, that's what I said, because I get a lot of questions like that, like why don't you have like a joint account or mortgages? So it's like very, very lean proposition, and it is like that because it's on purpose. Because I really think that startups that do not reach a product market fit, that's a death sentence for them.
Focus is key, right? You got to focus. You can't do everything.
It's really, there is no easy way to say it. You see researches that 88% out of startups are failing because they haven't got their product market fit. And if you ask entrepreneurs or startups, how do you know that you have reached your product market fit? But there is no, I cannot tell you here's the things you need to do in order to get there, but they will say the moment you reach that, you know it, you can feel it. And you can feel it because customers are pulling the product out of your hands, and the company becomes a madhouse. Pepper is a madhouse, truly.
Really? Tell us why.
It's because
sounds like you're very passionate about it. Which is a great thing, yeah.
The people who found Pepper, they are not writing the code anymore, right? We are now dealing with things like leadership and management issues. Customers want mortgages, they want joint accounts, they are asking why do not have this and that, and how can this be better, and you are working on your infrastructure and making your product better, and while fixing bugs and So again, it's a crazy house, and that's how you know you got to a product market fit. And now the challenge is to grow like crazy, because as I said, scale is crucial for startups, for any company.
What is your plan for growth? And maybe now, you know, a question that we haven't really planned for, so maybe you can tell us one or two things that nobody knows, you know, that maybe, you know, hasn't been really published yet in the media, maybe things you're working on, things you're hoping to deliver to the market soon.
So we have a lot of plannings and features in our pipeline. What is
It's okay if you can't comment. You
No,
work
no,
for a
no.
bank, you have rules, I know.
No.
What is it? Yeah.
No, what I meant is, I think our most, if I'll go back, talking about scale, as I see it, there are two things that, and it's related to our plans and our work plans and the features that we are planning to release. Because if you are talking about scale, for me there are two things that are crucial. First is have a clear vision and strategy about where you want to go and what do you want to do, and of course measuring it, which is more tricky. And the second has regarding our culture, Pepper culture, and the values that we represent. I think people do not know that about Pepper. It's a longer discussion.
Okay,
but,
so next time.
but I can truly say that companies that do not have the culture or the values that their strategy represent, they can succeed, but not for the long run. So for me, it's the way I talk, the way I move, the whole company is like that. They are really working on a company, because it's not because we have better food than Facebook or Google or the startup companies. We don't. It's not because we pay better, because we don't. It's because they really want to change something. And I know for Israeli crowd that's very cynical, but the people who come to work there, they really want to change. I want to change how banking is today. And when we interview people that want to work at Pepper, they can be the best people in the world with like track record that is amazing, and you really want really want them to be in your company, but then you see that their values are not in the right spot. So we will not hire them.
I love the honesty.
Because it's important.
I love the honesty. You talked about culture.
And
that you can't provide what startups provide, but you are trying to change one of the biggest and oldest industries ever.
We're different from banks, but we don't compare ourselves to a traditional bank. We want to compare ourselves to a startup that rose from really understanding a pain or a need customer has, and they really want to address it. So I think we are looking at the same. But by the way, metrics here, that's in this equation regarding scale. Metrics for me
what's
is
the most
trickier.
important metric for you?
Because
and we have a few minutes left, so we can do it in a lighting round, right?
You want, okay.
Let's
so
go.
one word about metrics,
the metrics,
because I think it's important, because in my last role I saw it in startup companies, and now I see it in the company that I represent. It seems that people really need to define exactly what the growth is, and the key for that is metrics. I know it sounds obvious and like basic. Everybody.
What's the most important metric for you, or a few metrics?
So that's the thing. You know, it seems that often seems that people don't care a lot about metrics, or they just think, okay, let's put a North Star that we haven't thought about, and that's it. But it is important, and it can change the course of a company. So let's take a common example. It's very known that the company is measuring the downloads of an app. For me, I think if you think about it, I think you should measure the usage of an app, or the retention, because it's not just getting people on board, it's also making them engage with your product. So I think from my answer, you know where we're going.
All right. Okay, let's go into lighting round. We have a few minutes left.
Round.
Okay, so one of the hottest buzzwords today is AI.
Yeah.
So AI, artificial intelligence, fills you with hope or dread? Pick one. And let's do it quickly.
Hope.
Hope.
Hope, yes.
Okay.
I think AI is not going to replace humanity. I think it's going to help humanity. Although I'm on the Elon Musk camp, I think it should be regulated because it can get scary.
Right. And one thing you wish your phone could do. Your mobile bank, right? Mobile-only bank.
Not just my bank, my whole phone. I don't
Yeah.
ever want to touch it again. Only voice commands. Like, can you pick up the kids?
Sounds. If I take a wild guess, our next banking app will be voice
Yes.
operated.
Totally. All apps, not just banks. Yes.
Sounds good.
True.
Favorite app on your phone?
There's a lot. I'm an app person. That's why I still got iPhone. On the personal level, it's Google Photos. I just love their, their movies that they're doing, the videos with the music and everything. On the
Auto-generated,
assistant.
right?
I love that.
It's auto-generated. You don't have to do anything.
Right,
It's just
true.
there.
And Robinhood, of course.
Robinhood.
Yeah, it's an investment app.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we have a minute or two left, so why don't we take a few questions from the audience?
Sure.
Okay, who has a good question for Michal?
That's it. It was short.
It was fun. It was short. So
Yeah.
who has a good question for Michal? Okay, person over there. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, I'm David. I just have a quick question about internet-only banking.
Yeah.
Maybe you might have a bit of a UK background.
No.
But EGG was established in 1996. It had a very, very exciting rise. Everyone thought we were going to see the rise of internet-only banking, and here we seem to be going through that cycle again. EGG failed well spectacularly. Everybody here doesn't know that. So just wondering what are your thoughts about what would be the success of Pepper where EGG failed or others failed?
Good question. I think if you hear your question, you were saying, David, right? Where are you? Okay. You ask about internet banking versus mobile banking, and I think that's a very huge difference. By the way, Bank Leumi itself had an internet banking. It's called Hayashir Harishon, and it's totally different. And also, I don't think it's the platform that matters. I think it's the strategy that matters, and also how the ecosystem works. I like here to use Airbnb CEO saying. He said, it doesn't matter what platform Airbnb works for, because today it can be internet, tomorrow it can be blockchain. You don't know how technology is going to change, but if you have the right core values and culture, you know you'll still be standing. So I think the difference is not if you are choosing internet or mobile or whatever, or voice. If you have the true understanding that you want to make a change, I'm talking about banking, and you understand that the customer is what matters, and not the banks and the revenues and so on, and you really care for customer service, and you really care about your customers, like we learned from all other examples, like Amazon, for example. Thank you. So I think that's what matters.
Okay, 20-second question, 20-second answer. Last one. Who's quick and has a question? One question, 20 seconds.
Sorry?
Support of cryptocurrencies. Support of cryptocurrencies. What's your view on that? 20 seconds, please.
20 seconds. I'll try to do that in 20 seconds. I think this question is divided to two. First, blockchain, which is, I think it's premature to understand what it will do to our world, but it definitely will change it dramatically. And if we're talking about Bitcoins, it doesn't really matter if it's Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency. I think we're just seeing a glimpse to the future of money and how it's going to evolve. And it is going to be evolved, and everyone will have to be a part of it in some way or another.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Michal. I learned a lot. And
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben and Michal.